Thanks so much for joining us right here on Nonstop Local. I'm Rachel DeAngelis. So, Elena, you also told me earlier you spoke to a local towing company. Just in case some of our viewers find themselves stuck in some snow while driving home, what can you tell us this evening?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ben Weinman.
And I'm Rachel DeAngelis. We begin with breaking news as we learn a decision has been made in the matter of Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen. The Commission on Practice is recommending he be suspended from practicing law for 90 days. Well, we have breaking news out of Arlington, Virginia tonight. A passenger plane has crashed and is now in the Potomac River. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rachel DeAngelis. All takeoffs and landings have been halted as of right now at the Reagan Airport. American Airlines says that there are about 64 people on that plane. We're unsure about their well-being at this hour as we're coming onto the air, but we'll, of course, keep you updated as the story progresses right here on Nonstop Local. We got notifications across our TV screens about severe weather conditions, and within minutes, top of trees were hitting grounds, extreme rain was going sideways. Do you remember filling out your first job resume? In today's difficult job market, one University of Montana professor is helping students get the edge on their competition using artificial intelligence. This competition is getting pretty heated. Let's see what the score is. The score is Big Sky up 19 and Sentinel is at 15. So if you want to watch this game right now with the girls, you can go on over to SWX, and of course we'll have our boys later on tonight. And I'm Rachel DeAngelis, and welcome to Washington Grizz Stadium Brawl of the Wild weekend. And actually we're standing right out front of the new art museum. What is it like moving into this season, coming off of a great season for the entire Grizz team? We are at the Enchanted Evening at Hogwarts right now, and it has been so wonderful. The atmosphere has been amazing. There are people dressed up. And as cars are driving by, and when they're coming to a complete stop, the stopping is fine, but once they get those tires going again, that's what the real problem is.
And today's National Trick Shot Day, so we got a little football.
Oh,
I got a light here. Rach, you think you catch it?
Don't don't throw it at me.
Yeah,
No.
here we go.
Oh my gosh, no, I don't got it.
Oh!
Well, DJ, thank you very much, and we're going to talk some sports now. And a team from the West is your World Series champion, but the Seattle Mariners did not win. Sorry, Ben.
Well, I'll introduce you to Rachel DeAngelis,
We're
everyone.
buckling up for that weather.
Buckling, I love that. Buckling
Actually,
it up.
For me, it would be the opposite, because you'd be on the passenger
I
side.
would, yeah, you're absolutely right. There you go, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Buckling up, okay.
Question for you as well. It seems like a lot of these racers are already decided with heavy favorites ready to make their spots on the ballot official. Mike, do you expect to see any upsets or surprises tonight from any of the results? We're going to take a look at CI 126 that's on the ballot. Technically just allows a person with the top 4 highest votes to appear on the general election ballot. Political party not required in this. Voters are asked to vote for one person per position.
50 years of service there for President Joe Biden, thanking the American people for sticking with him, calling this presidency kind of the privilege of his lifetime. What are kind of some of the highlights that you saw there?
Oh, yeah, some of the highlights that I saw. Well, first of all, he addressed the, right at the top of the hour, actually, he addressed the agreement to cease fire in Gaza. And he also kind of summarized what he's been up to the past 4 years as well, and keeping his promise to the American people. Well, today's a special day. You may be wondering why all of us are wearing red, and that's because today is National Wear Red Day to bring awareness for women's heart health. Today I posted on my Facebook the top 7 ways to keep heart healthy, and as an advocate myself for this cause, these are recommended by the American Heart Association. If you already follow my social media and you or a loved one is affected by this disease, I would love to know your story. Also, if you would like to learn more about ways to keep that heart alive, head to the American Heart Association's website, where you'll be able to find many helpful and useful tips to apply daily in 2024. Did you know that someone can take a version of my voice and turn it into their own generated version of myself? Well, this can happen, even to the average person. Can you tell if this version of myself is real or fake? One of the biggest concerns with AI is what you see or what you hear, and if it's real or if it's fake. I spoke with Michael Casson, a professor at the University of Montana, who teaches a class about what AI can do to the mind and how we can prevent our younger demographic of being a victim of AI-generated hallucinations.
One is hallucinations, where it comes up with whatever. The second problem that it has, which is just as problematic, and this happens particularly in esports, is bias.
Michael Casson is a professor at the University of Montana who teaches AI with esports, and one of his biggest concerns is what AI might do mentally to kids who are under 18.
That's the one thing I would never want to do, is introduce a technology that's actually harmful in the end. At the high school level, it's fear of just having artificial intelligence invaded into their lives. Privacy issues is a big deal.
The Child Rescue Coalition says that there are a few things to look out for when your young teen is exposed to AI. This can include fabricated situations like explicit content involving a minor. It can track your child's algorithm activities like communication patterns and personal information. Some forms of AI can also detect the behavior patterns behind the screen and can tailor messages to be more convincing based on how they react to certain things that occur on their screens. One of the other things to detect is finding fake impersonations to manipulate scenarios.
That's where education comes in, especially with parents and buy-in with parents, and letting them know and hopefully having good, knowledge of what it is that their kids are participating in.
The real question is, how can we prevent teens from thinking that something isn't actually real just because AI says it is?
That we, if we're introducing something, we take it upon ourselves to really dig in and say, help me understand what you're doing here, because we need to know, so that when I'm sharing this with somebody that's underage or their parents, that we feel confident of what's happening here and that nothing's going to go wrong.
The hope is that the future of AI can be less of a danger to the youth so that everyone can benefit from this new technology the way that it was meant to be used. In Missoula, Rachel DeAngelis, Nonstop Local.
This is Nonstop Local.
Cancer is the second leading cause of death worldwide, a diagnosis that can be the worst news any family can hear. Tonight, I'm introducing to you a couple in the Flathead that has taken that devastating news and continue to honor their daughter, Felicity Faith, all while raising awareness to help other families facing the same battle. Felicity Faith had a true princess-like mentality. From sharing a dance or two with her dad or playing princesses with her mom, she truly made an impact on every life she touched.
She had a gift that, that as she's going through, chemotherapy, as she's basically being absolutely 100% wiped out, she never really looked like it.
The 3-year-old girl even had her doctors amazed by the spark that she had despite the battle she was in.
Individuals would come to search her out just to be able to feel the happiness that she was able to give off. She brought people together.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society says that this is the most common form of cancer for young adults. This includes around 54,000 children in the U.S. or people younger than 20 are living with or in remission from this disease. It takes up about 25% of all types of cancers. And from this, it can be hard to detect at first and can also be very difficult to prevent, especially at a young age.
So we were immediately life flighted over to Seattle, where we underwent 13 long months of treatment over there.
The uncertainty was ahead as this family stayed at the Ronald McDonald House in Seattle while they battled through this tough time. But after a few months of waiting, they finally received the news that they had been waiting for. They were finally able to come home.
We had a celebration of life, friends and family. We rented a ballroom, we all got dressed up, and we had an absolute amazing evening. And, our daughter, from literally the minute that it was over, kept, I want to do it again, I want to do it again.
But 6 months later, after that very first ball, Felicity lost her battle in July of 2010 to leukemia. And that's when her parents decided to turn this tragedy into an opportunity to help other families that were going through the same thing they were. And that was the start of the Velicity Once Upon a Time Ball.
Yeah, the 2011, we hosted our first Princess Ball, again, back at the Alpine Lighting, where we had no clue what to expect. And doors open and somebody came in and said, oh my gosh, we literally have people lined up around the city block.
And since that night, the Velicity Once Upon a Time Ball has been a sellout event more than 10 years later in Kalispell, Montana.
We can only sell 1,000 tickets, and it gets very crowded and very busy, especially with all the beautiful ball gowns and dresses that everybody wears for the event, but it seems to work out best for us.
With all the money that they have raised, the Faith family has donated to 406 for Kids, Angel Flight West, the Ronald McDonald House, Montana Hope, and the Sunshine Factory in the Flathead Valley, which provides every family a relaxing place to go to when their child is receiving care at Logan Health. If you would like to donate to support this family in their dream of raising money for a good cause, you can go to next year's Velicity Once Upon a Time Ball that is normally in the month of March, all because of their daughter and keeping her legacy alive. In Kalispell, Rachel DeAngelis, Nonstop Local.